Another really nice way of working is we always tend to think about working on white paper. So what I'm going to show you is quite quick and quite easy. You can see I've got some drawing tools here. That's my soft pencil. I've actually got a Sharpie, which I might or might not use. Definitely going to need a rubber. I'm just going to put those two on the side for a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the whole of this paper in lead pencil. It takes quite a lot of doing. Again, don't be too worried about the sort of marks. You can see I'm going horizontal, vertical, diagonal. I just want to create this shaded area on my white paper. I'm getting through the lead quite quickly because I'm actually using a 6B pencil, but you can use 2B or a 4B just as well. So now I've got almost completed my dark ground here. Nearly there. Okay, so I'm working on my A4 sheet and I've covered that in lead pencil. So now what you do is you take a rubber. Now I'm not going to use the whole rubber. I'm going to cut a bit off because the rubber gets absolutely filthy. So be careful when you do this. Just cut your rubber up like this. Okay. You can cut it in half again if you want to. So what you're going to do now, you're actually going to be, write it down here, drawing with a rubber. Now just be aware your hand, your arm is going to be working over this lead, so you are going to get a dirty hand. So I'm going to revisit my lemon again. So I've got my lemon in my hand. It's a nice shape. I like holding it. It smells nice. So I'm going to put it down there. And basically you're going to use the rubber or a razor and rub really, really hard. So you're drawing, get that lovely shape and that lovely curve of your lemon. You have to rub quite hard to get that lead out. It's quite nice. You can see as you drag, you will have to blow the bits of rubber off your page so you get the nice shape in. Then try again, leave the areas that are dark. Try and use, so rather than working white paper and adding tone by making it dark, now you're drawing with your rubber. I'm looking at the light area where the light's hitting it. So the lightest area is actually at the top here because I've got light in front of me. You can see the rubber gets very, very dirty and shiny, so keep turning the rubber around. And use the other one if you need to. You can see now that the lemon is starting to take shape, but I've still got some of that pencil in there. It's quite nice. Now if you want to, you can reintroduce some, if you want to get some finer detail in, just have a go and see what works. So here I've got my Biro pen and I'm just going to try and put in some of the pitted skin into here. You can work back in. Like this. Bit of cross hatching down the side here. Obviously you'll get a lot more definition here. If you want to enhance the shape of your lemon. The thing to do is just to experiment and see what works, what doesn't work. You know, don't worry if you don't like it, it all goes wrong, just have another go. Like I've said in my last session, some people, I actually quite like working quiet, but some people like listening to a bit of music if that helps. So I can see here this is the lighter area, so I'm not going to put too much on there, but it's much, much darker this side. So that's just using a Barrow. Now, I could stick to that, but just for the demo purposes, I'm now going to introduce my fine liner, which is a blacker, okay, a blacker sort of mark making. And I'm going to use that pen just to try and give this idea that you are obviously drawing around object, bringing the pitted bits across, and then let's have a look. I'm going to do something I haven't actually done for a while. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm actually going to try putting a bit of water in and see what happens. See, I'm experimenting here. That's quite nice. A bit of water in there. Obviously the water is where the fine line has been. That's quite nice. Might do a bit more of that. And then this is going to make a really definite statement. If you want to use a Sharpie, obviously it's a very, very heavy line and it's definitely not water soluble. So anything you do, okay, I'm going to put a little bit of shading down here. Where there's shadow, I can see. Up here a little bit, maybe. Introduce it. You can see the 3 pens I'm using to describe my lemon. Making sure that I'm not going too heavy and keeping some of the areas very light. Now if you get to that point and you think, well actually I want to use the rubber again, then do. Get your rubber back in. You can actually get right back to the white paper. You've just got to press really, really hard. And if you think, oh no, I've taken too much, now it's too white, get the pencil out again, which might need sharpening. And just, you know, again working with that. I mean, what you're doing is you're using lots of different tools. Definitely need to sharpen my pencil a bit. So I've used a rubber, I've used a pencil, I've used a fine liner, I've used a Barrow, Sharpie with permanent. You can definitely see here, much, much darker. Around here. Make it quite dramatic. So, you know, the idea is just to really play around with your mark making to describe that. So it's drawing with a rubber, and I've added pen, fine liner, and Sharpie. Anyway, I've just done it really quickly. Have a go and enjoy.